white, blue, black, red, green. Long ago, the colors lived in harmony. What kind of lived in harmony, sort of. At least, I don't know. Just start the show. All right, what's up, friends? Welcome to the complete set review for Avatar: The Last Airbender, Magic the Gathering. Thank you. And of course, this is the last section. We did white, blue, black, red, and green, and multicolor. This is Colorless. You missed those, go watch them on YouTube, all right? Like, comment, subscribe, support the content as always. A lot of work goes into a set review, and I couldn't do it without your support. So please hit the buttons, do the things, right, Karn? And let's rock and roll here, giving out our awards for Constructed, for Limited, and we're just doing all of it, all right, folks? So let's rock and roll and jump right in with our colorless cards and look immediately at the 3 colorless lessons in the set. Now, once again, there are no learn cards in the set. These lessons will work with learn cards from Strixhaven, but there are none currently in Standard nor in this set. We are returning to Strixhaven next year, so maybe that'll matter for that. But for in this set, they are just spells that care about being a lesson for certain things. So Aang's Journey is first, 2 mana for a sorcery lesson. If you're familiar with Strixhaven, this will look familiar to you. Search library of basic land card and then put it in your hand, gains you life. If you kick it, you can go get a basic land card and a shrine card. So this is a pretty fun way to like enable kind of a fun, side quest archetype in Limited of shrines, allowing you to fix your mana and then also go find your shrine stuff. Not relevant in basically any other format, but this one, but pretty cool. So gonna be a good card for fixing, gonna be a good card to put lessons to your graveyard. If you end up being teamer lessons, pretty cool. Definitely worse when you're not getting it out of a sideboard like you were with Environmental Sciences and Strixhaven. But yeah, cool card. Definitely, I'll be getting a lot of shrines with this card for sure. Next up is Energy Bending, 2 mana for an instant lesson. This makes all lands you control a land type at the end of turn, and you draw a card. There is one basic land type payoff card in each color. This can sort of enable those. I think more importantly, this is just 2 mana, draw a card, put a lesson in your graveyard. And that's really honestly okay because there are a lot of payoffs if you have lessons in your graveyard. So that's pretty cool. Constructed, probably not good enough. There are better ways to do that. But as far as Limited goes, and then you can also fix your mana in a pinch, I suppose. But yeah, pretty cool little card. And the last lesson is Zuko's Exile. 5 mana for an instant. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment, and its controller makes a clue token. This feels a lot more like the lessons from Strixhaven, like a really expensive, kind of overcosted removal spell that you don't necessarily want to play. But if you're desperate for a removal spell, you can do it. But I think for the most part, you don't want to play this card in your draft deck if possible. But yeah, there it is. So those are your 3 lessons. On to the artifacts. We have Barrels of Blasting Jelly. 1 mana for an artifact. One mana to add a mana of any color, so just filters mana, but only once turn. Then we have 5 mana, sack this, deal 5. Yeah, I mean, that's, not an amazing card by any means. Kind of cool to have, like, the bad artifact removal spell have some utility as you're building up to that. But mostly just a fringe Limited card, nothing more. But kind of a cool card to have, a Shell Player's card in draft. If you need it, don't just play it. Play it if you need it. Bender's Water Skin is next. 3 mana for an artifact. Untap this artifact during each other player's untap step. Kind of cool. Just a mana rock. If you're playing multicolor green in your draft deck, you want to have a Manalith. This does that for you with a little bit of upside. Not the most exciting card either, but, if you got it, it's okay. Fire Nation Warship. 2 mana for a uncommon vehicle with reach. It's a 4/4. When it dies, make a clue. Crew 2. I mean, again, this is kind of just like reasonable rate, just like in your draft deck, you just play it and crew it and trade it off and then get your clue and take your card advantage and just kind of go on with your day. You can't play too many of these, but if you're playing, 16 creatures in one of these, that's fine. I think just a fine Limited card. Nothing more. Kiyoshi Battle Fan, 2 mana for an artifact equipment. EDB make an ally +1/+0. Just job select, right? What are we doing here? Just job select, right? But it's an ally, which is kind of cool. It is 2 bodies for water bending. You can tap the equipment and tap the ally, which is kind of cool. So Another sort of like just nuts and bolts kind of limited card. Not particularly powerful, but can certainly, you know, do things your deck might want it to do. And that's cool. Totally fine. Meteor Sword, 7 mana for artifact equipment. When it enters, destroy target permanents, and then gives +3/+3. Yeah, I mean, like, this card is not great, you know, Meteor Golem-esque. It's slower than Meteor Golem, but it is, you know, I guess a little more powerful, but yeah, sure, I guess you could Stone Fortress and Philia it if you are extremely lucky, but yeah, so, yeah, I don't know, it's cute. Kind of fun to see a Magic reference on a Universes Beyond card. I kind of like that, that's sweet. But you can airbend it also in limited, that's like pretty expensive, but I don't know, it's cool. Planetarium of Wan Shitong, 6 mana for a legendary artifact. Pay 1, tap, scry 2. When you scry or surveil, look at the top card of your library. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Do this only once each turn, and look after the card after you card scry or surveil. So, all right, I mean, like, 7 mana, possibly cast a spell for free. I mean, if you have this in play for a few turns, you are probably going to win the game. But that being said, there are plenty of good things to do for 7 colorless mana that already exist. So, I don't know. I mean, like, maybe if you play Ugin and, like, Hedron Archive and this, you could, like, play some sort of cool artifact deck. But, I don't know. Obviously great and limited. You just, like, draw a card every turn and play it for free. But, constructed-wise, I don't know. Trusty Boomerang. 1 mana for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature has 1 tap, tap target creature, turn boomerang to its owner's hand, and equip for 1. This is much worse than Leon and Bola. Anyone? Leon and Bola. Leon and Bola was an absolute banger from Mirrored and Block. Very similar in that it did the exact same thing, but didn't return to your hand, just unequipped. So that is a little rough, as it makes it adds 1 to every time you want to tap something. However, it does play really well with tokens. You can just tap down multiple things. Can trigger prowess over and over again by bouncing it over and over again, which is kind of cool too. So it's kind of cool. This card's pretty sweet. I guess card will play better than it looks, you know. But yeah, pretty cool. I want to make sure that I have things to do with this, whether I have a bunch of ally tokens or some prowess creatures or whatever, but I think this card is going to play better than it looks. The Walls of Ba Sing Se. 8 mana, 0, 30.
Good lord.
That is one big booty. Defender, and then all permanents you control have indestructible. All other, sorry, this is not protect itself, which is kind of a big deal. We've never seen a 30 on a card before. It's kind of fun. But this is mostly just a silly card for, I don't know, Commander Wall decks or whatever. I guess in Limited, if you cast this, I mean, you could still lose if Flyers or whatever, you know? Like, I don't even know. But I think you just kill this, right? This doesn't have any protection spells. So, yeah, silly card. Happy it exists, but, you know, whatever. White Lotus Tile. 4 mana for an artifact. Enters tapped and adds X mana of any one color. Wait, is that on a wall? That's better, yeah. Okay. At X mana of any one color, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have a creature type in common. I mean, this is quite potent if you untap with it and have creatures in play. Those are all pretty big ifs. If there was some way to make this come untapped immediately, sure. But, yeah. I think this is going to be another in the long line of Lotus things that don't really work out. But, yeah. I don't know. Weird card. It's a lot of mana, but what do you do with it? Not really great and limited either. I think we're just kind of over it. Let me get on to our lands here. And there is 1 land for each color in a cycle of enters untapped if you control a basic land. And oh boy. Abandoned Air Temple is nice. White land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. So more of like a mono white kind of payoff. Just taps for white. 4 mana tap, put a counter on all your creatures. That is awesome. Phenomenal. Gavany Township, but it taps for white. Great. Oh my god. Card's awesome. Card's really, really good. Just insane mana sink for any go wide deck. Really, really stacks up and super low opportunity cost. Best in show. I think this card's awesome. Probably pretty much unbeatable and limited. You just have like any board at all. And white makes so many tokens. Like, you just go nuts. But yeah, banger. Best in show. I don't think it's close. Abandoned Air Temple. Heater. Next up is ATLA. This is the blue version. Same templating. 3 mana, draw a card, discard a card. I mean, it's not like bad, you know. Looting gets worse and worse as Magic goes on, because as cards get better and better, you just want everything. You don't really want to like pick through for the good stuff because everything's good. Desolate Lighthouse saw a little bit of play back in the day. You know, it's reasonable. You know, it does some cute stuff, you know, with like, I mean, Riddler or whatever else it is, yada, yada, yada. But I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's certainly playable. I think it's not particularly exciting. You know, sure. Moving on to black, we see the Realm of Koa. This is the black version. 4 mana, tap, make a 1/1 colorless spirit token. With this can't block or be blocked by non-spirits. It's kind of cool, you know, where it's like this end step win condition. But they can't block, which kind of sucks a little bit. But, you know, I could see some sort of like blue-black control deck trying to sit back on these, but I don't know. Not particularly exciting. It's kind of cool in making fodder for stuff, but yeah, with Fountain Port already legal, just kind of like doesn't really have a home, I don't think. It's a good card, great and limited, you know, and certainly a playable card, but it just doesn't really have a home, I don't think. The red version is Fire Nation Palace, and this same templating, you can 2 mana, tap this to give a creature you control firebending 4. So it's like a really, really weird ritual. My gut tells me this is oddly powerful, despite only really actually gaining you 1 mana. But I don't really know what you want to do with it. You know, like I'm not really sure, you know, so I don't know. You know, there are some good red lands already anyway. It's probably not that good, but I'm not sure. And the green version is Bombin Common. This is the same templating. 3 mana Earthbend 2. That's fine. You know, like mono green stomping or something like that. The problem is, the funny part with these lands is they seem to want to speak to the idea of playing a monocolored deck, but the monocolored payoffs in the set count your basic land types, and they're very bad with those, you know, which is kind of weird. So, like, definitely some tension there, but Earthbending is okay. But yeah, I don't know, it's okay. I'm not thrilled by this one. I think it's just like, you know, just passable. Then we get to the Jasmine Tea Shop, which if you haven't paid attention to this card, folks, you got to wake up. This is the Sliver Hive for allies. All right, so 5 color land for allies could also activate sources, and then 5 mana make a token is pretty insane. This alongside Cavern of Souls and Concealed Courtyard, not Concealed Courtyard, the other one. Is it Concealed Courtyard? The uncommon Cavern of Souls or whatever. Are all, like, the 3 of those means you can play basically anything when it comes to allies as far as colors go, which is pretty insane. And then this having the actual mana sink ability too to make more tokens is great. Really, really good stuff. So, card's awesome. Great and limited too. Just a really, really good card. Definitely don't underestimate how good 5 mana make a token is on your land. That's already fixing your mana perfectly. You play this card without that ability. Adding it just adds so much to the card. So, sleeper card for Colorless is Jasmine Dragon Tea Shop. Next up is the old Rumble Arena. It's a land that has vigilance. Get it? Get it? Because Earthbending's in the set, and you could. Sure. EDB Scry 1 fixes mana. I don't know how relevant that vigilance keyword is going to be. This just gives us another land that can ETB Scry. There is that weird 1/4 of it, like whenever you Scry or Surveil, you just draw a card. Like there are a lot of lands for that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's cute. I don't think it's that important, really. Secret Tunnel.
It's a trap.
Shh. Trap card. Colorless land. It's a cave, the only cave in the set. Land can't be blocked. Tap for a colorless, and then 4 mana, tap this, 2 target creatures that you control that share a type can't be blocked this turn. So can't be blocked on a land is cute, right? Animate it with earthbending, now it's an unblockable, yada, yada, yada. But I just don't think you want a colorless land in basically any scenario. You know, this card is competing with a really good creature land in Soulstone Sanctuary in Standard, and then I don't know. I just don't think you're doing stuff. So in Limited, if you have a ton of Earthbending, this card seems okay. But as far as Constructed goes, I think this card is pretty much unplayable. Yeah, I don't know. It's cute. There is still cave stuff from Lost Caverns of Ixalan in Standard, if you can believe it. But yeah, that's Trap card. Secret Tunnel. Sorry. Nah. White Lotus Hideout. Taps for a colorless. Taps ATLA mana of any color to spend for only lessons or shrines. It also filters mana. Kind of cool, honestly. If there isn't a BA 3-color lessons deck, this deck will be a major part of it. I guess maybe a shrine deck also. I don't know. It's kind of weird because like lessons and shrines are pretty limiting. But like just the generic like grotto, you know, colorless land, untapped that filters for mana is kind of okay. So I don't know. It's okay. It's fine limited. And then, you know, maybe constructed if there's like a 3-color lesson deck. But and then we have a cycle of just dual lands, common dual lands. I'm not sure what the drop rate is. If chat knows, you can tell me. But you know, just usual common duels for limited. 4 mana tap, sack, draw a card. Just like, you know, nuke a panel lands basically. And no typing special or anything like that. Just fixing is what it is. The rumor is that they'll have one of these in every other pack. They're in half the packs. So, decent amount of fixing. Pretty cool art on these too, which is nice. But yeah. And that's those. And the Serpent's Pass. Sun Blessed Peak. And these are cute with earthbending because you can like sacrifice them and they just come back, which is kind of nice. But yeah, that's it. So for Colorless, our best in show here is Abandoned Air Temple. Our sleeper card is Jasmine Dragon Tea Shop. Our trap card is Secret Tunnel. And our Bombin Common is Energy Bending. Did I not give it to that? I might not give it the award during the actual section, but like there are not a lot of good commons in this set when it comes to so there you go. Maybe I did, I don't remember, but there you go. So that's Colorless, and that is Avatar, folks. That's my full set review for Avatar. I will not be doing a set review for the bonus sheet because the bonus sheet is huge. It is ugly, and it is not really relevant for much. There are a few cards that will be added to Historic that are relevant, Force of Negation being the big one. I'll go over that in a short or two. And then for Limited, these things are 1 in every 26 packs. That is less than 1 copy for drafts. So they are almost irrelevant in Limited, making going over all of them just not really worth it at all. So kind of stinks. I love bonus sheets in Limited. They're really, really fun. But these are really ugly also, so I don't have to see them very often, so that's kind of fine. So whatever, is what it is. So that's that review. Like, comment, subscribe, support the content. As always, I love you all. Look for a short going over the big hits from this bonus sheet. And then I will see you fine folks for 10 New Brews next Wednesday. That is next Wednesday the 12th at 2 p.m. Looking forward to that. Gonna be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we have Bronze Mythic the week after on the actual release. Going to be Tuesday night, the 18th. All right. So check all that out. I love you all. Make sure you just tune in for that. Also, don't forget, I'll be in Vegas for the regional championship at SGCon. That's going to be happening November 21st. That's going to be in Vegas. It's the Modern Regional Championship. If you're not qualified, there are last chance qualifiers. So make sure you come down and hang out for those. a bunch of other great events too. Constructed, Limited, other games. So there was a Riftbound 10K, which is sweet. I'll be watching that for sure. And yeah, great stuff. So yeah, love y'all. Like how it subscribe, support the content. Peace.